evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you all doing in here? You all here? Yeah. All is there tonight, so give me some lights now. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. We are here tonight on dream interpretation. Tell somebody that we are live. Tell somebody that we are on. I'm about to share this link, right? I hope you have your popcorn. I hope you have everything. Not do like me and burn your popcorn, right? And because tonight I burned the popcorn and I'm not ashamed to say it. We all make mistakes, right? Even the very best of us, right? So tonight we are going to be on, we are on already on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Let's get on and cracking. So tonight we are doing dream interpretation on the blessing and on delay. Blessing and the delay. How to know if God is trying to tell you you are delayed or if a blessing is coming your way based on your dreams. So the thing about it is, when coming to a blessing, we tend to wonder how the blessing going to come. But I don't know if you realize, most times upon the face of this earth, when a blessing is coming, God uses someone to actually bless you. Yeah? When a blessing is coming, God. Right? So God uses someone to bless you. So if anybody is in here and you all are in Sakam group, somebody could share it in share the link in the group for me, please, because the phone that is actually somebody's choosing to call me my grandmother. No, ma, I can't answer the phone right now. I'm live. That was my grandmother. Mommy, come online on Facebook. So if someone could share the live, share it. We are here. We are about to go. Right? So yeah, we're doing today the blessing. If it is that God wants to bless you, somebody comes into your life. If it is the enemy wants to send some kind of curse into your life, somebody coming in your life the same way. Right? So it's all deciphering who sent who. Question to ask yourself tonight: friend or foe? What's the question we asking? Friend or foe? So that is the question that we ask when coming to, if you come to be a blessing or if you come to bring curses into my life. So share. We're gonna start this evening. We're gonna start with the blessing. But what I want to first discuss, sometimes we just be so craving for the blessing. We want a blessing so bad that we think up things all the time during the day and we fall asleep thinking about that thing. And we had a dream maybe about something that is about a blessing, but really and truly it probably would have been a dream of your mind or a dream of your soul. I don't know if this one watching me and she's smiling. So what you have to figure out, remember the first set of sessions we did was, is it a dream of your mind, a dream of your soul, or a dream that is actually a message from God? That is what you have to actually discern first to know if it is a dream of a blessing that is actually coming, right? When you get up from your dream, and you remember it, your soul and your spirit will tend to know if it is from God. Right? But there is also a way that we could be able to decipher one out of the two. You see, if you're real eating night beans and rice, you're real eat, and you dream that you're on a roller coaster in Disney World. After you dream you're on the roller coaster in Disney World, then after you end up down by your grandmother's house, and after you're down by your grandmother's house, you see yourself spinning around. The dreams, they make no sense. None. Beans and rice. Right? So that will be able to help you all to know, to decipher dream of the mind, dream from God, and dream of the soul. So the dream makes up it all over. It make no sense whatsoever. No matter how you try to piece it together, it making no sense. Beans and rice, right? Of the soul, that's the thing that you think up, and all of a sudden you get a dream concerning this very thing that you were thinking about, and you get up very happy thinking that there's a blessing coming when you play yourself, right? But the message from God, it has structure. It has structure. It has good night, infinity and beyond. Eating popcorn. I burn the popcorn before I get to this point. Let me confess about that part. Before we get here, I burn the popcorn, and I'm sure somebody in here get 1 or 2 burn popcorn too, but still, right? So the blessing, we're gonna start first with clothing and colors, because I'm sure we would have had dreams already that a dreamer had on this white gown, and with the white gown, now if you dream you had on a white gown is a problem, but that's a whole other conversation, a whole other topic. But you dream that you had on a color, but you wasn't sure what it means. So the first color we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the most unique color, brown. If you see yourself in brown, you see yourself having on a brown outfit, you're coming out a car, or based on the context of the dream, if you see yourself in brown, do not bind it, do not rebuke it, do not tear it down, because brown is not a color that is more one of the popular colors, right? Brown, when you see yourself in brown, you wonder in brown. Often somebody might really say that brown is their favorite color, right? You know? So, but the thing about brown is actually a blessing. But brown is a blessing that will come after you go through real hardship. The thing about brown is, do not bind it, do not rebuke it, do not cast it down. But understand that this brown that you see yourself in is a blessing that you will eventually receive, but God will actually take you through a process. Right? Right? So brown actually is, God is going to take you through a process, but before you actually get to the blessing, you will cry some tears. So the same one that beating you, it will be the same one that giving you the lesson, and the same one that giving you the blessing. But there is a particular lesson that you have to learn out of actually being able to sustain the blessing when it comes. Because plenty of us want blessings. Plenty of us want house, we want car, we want land, we want different things. Not that that is a blessing, like to consider that alone a blessing. But most persons in the world, they look at that as being blessed. So if we look at it from that direction, we know that we could consider that a definition of a production of the blessing. So in order for you to be able to maintain your blessing, there must be a procedure that you go through. If it is that you have no process, you wouldn't be able to sustain it when it comes. That's why they say when you get something too easy, you tend to not appreciate it as much. You tend to not appreciate it as much because it came with no validation behind it. Sometimes women, it's good to give a little resistance. Just saying that, just saying. If you give a little resistance, right? If you get through too easy, you might feel that he could run over you. Side note, just to put that as a side note. Don't forget to share the like. Right, okay. Right? That's just a side note. But put yourself in a position where you are able to go through. So if you see yourself in brown now and you dream yourself in brown, understand, God, there is something brewing in the realm of the spirit that is about to manifest in the physical world for me. I know I will have to go through. So you would have to ask God for strength to actually go through the journey that He will take you through in order to be able to get to the end product of that blessing. So if you see yourself in brown, whether a brown shirt, a brown pants, a whole brown suit, know that you will receive a blessing, but there is a hardship process that you will have to go through first in order before you actually attain to the blessing, right? So that is brown. Remember that we said when things are conceived in the realm of the spirit, it's either one out of two things. It's either it gives birth in this physical realm or it is about it. Now, this blessing that it is coming from God and the process is also coming from God. What you don't want to do is be in a position for the enemy to take advantage of you. Because you would see us, you might know you're going through this process and you might actually think it's the enemy. You might actually think the devil behind you. When really and truly, God is the one that is taking you through a process. Be careful not to mislabel what you're going through. Be careful not to mislabel your circumstances. Whether it is, for example, it's a time of hardship where your money probably not flowing as it's supposed to. You might have just gone through a breakup. Life circumstances probably hit. You might have lost a job. But in the moment, it would look as if it is something bad. Who wants to lose their job? Who wants to lose a relationship that they invest in? Nobody really wants to lose. But little do we know, in the midst of loss, sometimes could come the biggest blessing thereafter that you could ever receive. So it's all about the perspective of your mind, how you see things. So we have to first deal with tonight, changing the perspective of your mind in the event you are to dream yourself in brown. Whether you dreamt yourself before or you will dream yourself moving forward in brown, so that you do not mislabel the circumstances that is about to happen to you. Right? Because Joseph, who had the greatest destiny to be second in command to Pharaoh in the palace, Joseph get up and told his brothers his dream, and I will always speak about that. Be careful who you are telling your dreams to. Especially when you may perceive it to be a good dream. Not all skin teeth is laugh. I will tell her that out here. Not all skin teeth is laugh. Not everybody mean you well. It might be grinning in your face, but it might be a real knife in your back. Right? So do not tell everybody your dream. When they see you're going through your hardship, let them understand that you're going through your hardship. But I want you to remember that dream that you had in brown. And when you have them, remember, if you were somebody before listening to these live and you never used to take record of your dreams, start getting pen and paper and record them. As we do these dream interpretations, it will help you to be able to discern the language of God, to find out what it is He's trying to tell you. Because God doesn't speak English like how we speak English. He knows all languages. But it's not that English is God's language. The language that God would speak will never be to our level. So God will not demote himself to come down to our level just for the sake of us understanding. We have to actually want to grow. You have to actually want to, as God said, draw nigh unto me and I'll draw nigh unto you. So if you actually put yourself in a mindset and a willingness that you want to draw near to God, meaning that you want to understand how he communicates with you. And if you are a dreamer, this is one thing that you should put into place. Start taking into consideration what God has been telling you that you have been overlooking, that you have not been taking into consideration. Right? So this puts you in a position now to better be able to charter the course of your life. A lot of people are living missing the blessing of God because they are not understanding what their dreams are telling them. And a lot of people stay in situations longer than they're supposed to and in delay because they are not understanding what their dreams are telling them. So if you see yourself in wrong, don't tell anybody, because that person might very well have knowledge of what dream interpretations are about. To know that here, what they might see you going through something, but know that something is coming in the end. But in Joseph's situation, Joseph didn't know. But if you look at it, Joseph's mother and father told him. So what you're saying is that we would eventually bow down to you? Easy there. Joseph's mother and father is telling you, we understand what your dream is saying and you do not understand it. But what you are saying is you will one day become supreme over us. And if it is in a position that you get a dream that you would be higher than somebody or over somebody, and you telling that same person that dream, how you feel they're going to take it if they are not mature enough? This is why that a lot of persons end up by the spiritual house, the herbalists, the witch doctors, for people. Sometimes you hear somebody get a promotion. After that person get a promotion, they cripple. After they get the promotions, they start to lose family members. Something taking place where things start to go haywire in their life after they get a promotion. You have to be very careful. The reason that we're doing these things, these sessions, is for us to become aware that what is taking place in the realm of the spirit concerning each and individual, each and every person's life, and God, what God is telling you. So, brown, if you see yourself in brown, hardship for a moment, but the blessing that will be coming is even greater than everything that you would have gone through. You would forget you even go through the things that you did. Right? So take note of that. Brown, you're going through, but you will come through. Right? The next color that we're going to go on to is gray. Gray. If you see yourself in a gray suit, a gray outfit, if you see yourself driving a gray vehicle, it actually signifies leadership. It signifies a measure of leadership, a certain stature. Or you ever see a handsome man in a gray suit? Physically, it looks cordial. So this is for our level of understanding so that we'll be able to kind of put the pieces together. Gray is a very cordial color. Thereby, in the spirit, it actually shows, once you see yourself in gray, you are not just called into some position of leadership, whether it is in your company, whether it is in your own business, or if you're in ministry as well. And this is also a dream that I would advise that you do not tell anyone, because this could be a Joseph situation as well, right? Not that they would be able to stop it, because anything that God has ordained, show me a man born of a woman on this earth can stop it. Nobody will be able to stop it. What is yours, right? So if you see yourself in gray and you see yourself in a gray outfit, driving a gray car, because remember, car was one of the things that we said is a means of your life. It's a signification of your life. So it shows that your life actually embodies leadership style, right? You may not be walking in it just yet. You may have to go through a process to get there, because any good leader, if you have not gone through the process, you would not be able to sustain leadership in anything at all, even in the home, as a husband, as the head of a household. That is leadership. If you haven't gone through the process or taken time out to actually take the procedure of what is a husband, what is a father, you could be in a position where you're playing it by ear. A lot of people are actually playing life by ear, and they may not have the full understanding of what their role is supposed to be in the circumstance of the role of a father if you're in gray, or the role of a mother if you're in gray, or a wife. It actually takes maturity to bring your mind to a place where your mind develops to say, here what, I really don't know this, or I don't know that. Teach me. Put me in a better position than I was before, so that I would be able to be more effective in my role as a husband, a wife, in a company, in your own business, for those who may own their own business, or if you're in ministry. So it is actually things to look into concerning who you are, you on the inside, right? So that is great. Now we're on to another color, pink. And this is not just like pink, like light pink, because light pink kind of means something else to fuchsia pink. Fuchsia pink is actually the highest color in the realm of the spirit. Fuchsia pink, you all know what fuchsia pink is? I kind of, yeah. Fuchsia pink is like, right, yeah, right? So that pink is actually the highest color in the realm of the spirit. So if you see yourself in that color, if you want your name by the, let me don't say that, but if you want your name by where it's not supposed to be, go and tell somebody you dream yourself in pink who know about dream interpretation. Right? What I mean to say is, when you get certain things, I will continue to emphasize, hush, because a lot of us abort our blessing when we talk too much. So that is something to take into consideration. Fuchsia pink is actually the highest color in the realm of the spirit. Is the highest color in the realm of the spirit, and it signifies one of the greatest blessings that somebody could actually attain to in the spiritual realm, right? So fuchsia pink, men could see themselves in a fuchsia pink outfit, women could see themselves in fuchsia pink, and you could actually be somebody that don't wear pink really. But if you see yourself in the spirit in it, you are about to get one of the highest blessings that could actually be given unto you, whether it is by a destiny helper, or whether it is by through some means of business coming into your life, monetary circumstances, all based on the context of how the dream comes. It's all based on the context of how it comes into play. You could see yourself even driving a car. You could even see yourself driving a pink car, and that actually signifies and show where your life is heading. But in actually showing you where your life is heading, you have to put in the work. You have to actually be a collaborator with God, because there is something that you have to actually do in order for that to be activated. It's not just sitting by and it will come and fall in your lap. there is actually co-laboring have to take place. If God tell you, hear what? If in your spirit, you feel the need to call this person, and God is pushing you, nudging you, and you keep thinking about that person, call that person. Because that person could be connected to that very future thing that you dreamt. But you may not know that that is what is happening. Right? So, if it is that you are, let's say, in a settings, corporate settings, you work in a corporate area, and you actually dream yourself in the office in that future thing, that could be where your promotion is coming from, right? So it's all about how the context comes into play. So that is clothing, where the clothing is concerned, right? So we're going to move on now to the blessing that you would dream with respect to fruits. We're going to deal with two aspects of fruits. Now remember, I said money in the spirit and money in the physical is the same thing. Right? We'll see now, they tell me. I'm not sure. It's slow down. It coming in? I'm not sure if anybody else coming. I can't tell you. I think that's it for the guest list. If I check the guest list, I think mostly everybody here. All right, so fruits. Remember, fruits, we're going to connect fruits with one of the things we're going to connect it is with wealth, with where part of your destiny resides. Because a lot of us might be in circumstances or in a particular place and your blessing is somewhere else, but you may not know. You might be getting the dream. God might be trying to tell you to start activate something in you, and you may not know that that is the situation that is happening. You might find yourself looking at houses in Grenada. That's just an example. And you're not sure why your spirit is being pulled to look at houses in Grenada. All of a sudden you fall asleep, you probably start to dream the Grenadian flag. There could be something that is in Grenada that is for you that you may not be able to decipher, that God is trying to tell you. Part of your blessing is in Grenada. That's just an example, right? I find a little quiet on me tonight. What's going on? All is good? Yes, we are. All right. So, fruits. What I'm going to deal with one first is international. If you are someone that dreams international fruits, every time you dream, you're dreaming apple, you're dreaming grapes, you're dreaming the purple plum that don't grow here, right? We don't grow that here. The cherry, you know, the foreign cherry that Price Mart sell real expensive. Strawberry, things like that. If these are the kind of dreams that you are getting, international fruits, if you're eating them, you have them in your hand or you're in a field with it or so, that tells you part of your destiny, part of your purpose is in another country, an international country. And you may not understand that God is trying to tell you, here's what. Some of your resources is in another land. And here now, you might be here going through real turmoil in life, you know. Problem, pressure, hand to mouth. And you're dreaming these apples, you're dreaming these grapes, you're dreaming US dollars, or you're dreaming euros. Whatever it is that you are dreaming that is international, that is foreign, it is actually telling you part of your resources, part of your purpose, part of your wealth is in another country. So if it is that you are seeing these things in your dream, and it kind of will shed some light tonight as to what exactly is taking place in your life. And it's good to know going back in your mind to see, I wonder if I had dreamt any apples at any point in time or any grapes and I probably didn't recognize. So going forward, if part of your destiny is somewhere else, that will have to be a reality you have to accept and start working towards it. Or if you do not, you will just be at that basic mediocre place all the time because you never fully attain to the capacity of what you are supposed to accomplish. And it is a sad place to be. What I mean is a sad place to be because you may not be somebody that, one, used to pay attention to your dreams. And if you do get the dreams, you may not be able to come higher in information, in knowledge, and ask God to reveal to you what it is He's trying to say in order for you to be able to start saying, here what? All of a sudden again, I'm not sure go for your visa. You may not be somebody that have a visa before, but the desire has stirred in you. Or something in Canada. That's just saying, different places, different strokes, different folks. But if you are dreaming international fruits that do not grow in your country, your destiny could be in another land, in another man's land. That is when no border will be able to hold you, no matter who in power. Once it is for you and God has called you to that place, no jurisdiction will be able to hold you. Right? So that is if you're seeing international fruits in your dream. Grapes, apples, purple plum, the cherries that don't grow here, things of that nature. Right? So that will actually show the blessing that is laid up in store for you, that is already birthed. Not birthed, it is already conceived in the realm of the spirit, but because we are none the wiser and we do not know what to do, what type of prayer to pray, what scriptures to go into to actually allow the birth canal of the portal of the spiritual realm to open for it to be birthed into the physical for you. Because it could be a destiny helper that it is coming through. Somebody that comes into this country and you connect with, and that person is your destiny helper to actually take you to your purpose or your destiny where you're supposed to be. Right? So that is something that you could think about, look into, pray about it. Because not because you're born here, it means it ends here for you. Did his plumber go on heaven earlier? Right? She no longer here. And whole day today, I am hearing, she has this song, well, when in the world, still but not leaving. Yes. I hear that song today. People are buying it in Jesus' name. Because I say, so what if the rest of my destiny not here? And I was singing not leaving. And I prophesy not leaving over my life. No, Denise, you in your mansion in heaven. You in your hot mansion in heaven. Leave me, please. Right? So I heard this song, and coincidentally, I jump out of one place, one store with plane, going in somewhere else, and the same song playing again. I say I would not sing you. Even if I sing it here, I'm not prophesying it. I sing it for an example. Let me just clear that up. Right? So that's in the event that what if it doesn't end here for us? And you were hearing this song and you're singing it. People, one thing I would say as well, singing in dreams. Be very careful with singing. Because remember, one thing we say is your mouth. This is what activates the portal to bring what is in the realm of the spirit already conceived, to bring it into this natural for you, So if it is you cannot open this mouth, they say a closed mouth is a closed destiny, It means that you would live life in rotation because you are not knowledgeable to know the importance of your tongue over your life. If you're not speaking over your life, trust and believe somebody speaking over your life for you, somebody chatting, somebody getting up in the morning, dancing the jig, right around the living room, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's on your head and you mightn't even know. So if it is you do not put yourself in place and utilize the mouth and the tongue, the voice, to activate what God has in store for you in the mother realm, for it to be birthed here, you will live in constant rotation and wondering why nothing is moving. Your voice, everything in this world is voice activated, and everything in this world has an ear. Everything has an ear. Your body parts have ears. How do you think healing is activated? When you think about the healing virtue of God, when somebody speaks healing, they don't just speak healing to the body, you know. For example, if someone has one foot shorter than the next, and that person comes to our church or they come to somebody who has the gift of healing, when that person speaks and that person utilizes their voice to activate the healing virtue that God has put in them for that foot to grow, that person actually is speaking to the ears of the feet of the person. You know? Everything has a voice. Everything has an ear to hear. That is how things are able to be shifted. There is a matrix that takes place in the realm of the spirit that shifts. So when that shift takes place, for that foot to grow, the ears of the feet must hear the voice of one that carries the virtue to heal. To know that this is a validated voice that is speaking and is a voice that my ears must obey. Thereby, that foot is now able to grow out. Not everybody has the gift of healing. Not everybody has not everyone can say, be healed, and you can actually receive healing. And you might go to someone looking for that. And that person might very well believe that they have it and they don't. Because they believe that because I use the name of Jesus, and yes, there is power in Jesus' name. That's never the dispute. And by his stripes we are healed, yes. But they are actually persons that carry the blessing of the gift of healing. And in that gift of healing is where, in the realm of the spirit, they are signed legitimate. That unclean spirits must obey them. Because they carry that blessing. Right? They are also been given power to cast out unclean spirit. That is also a blessing. So if you want to really speak about what the blessing is, really, we are now tapping into the blessing. So the house, car, land, all these things is actually not a blessing, but a result of you being a blessing. Because it's not just someone coming into your life to be a blessing. Sometimes that person comes to actually activate what is already in you for you to now become the blessing. You all following? So the goal at the end of the day is not just attaining to the blessing, but becoming the blessing. Because what now happens is it becomes a domino effect. Just as how that person who came into your life, or something came into your life and it activated what is in you to now become a blessing. It now becomes what is called the charisma. Charisma is the rubbing off. It's a spiritual term for the rubbing off. So because you are hearing my voice and the Holy Spirit is utilizing my voice to carry this information, my charisma is now rubbing off on you all, on everybody that is hearing. So the charisma is now actually me sharing. So when it is shared, you all now become a blessing to now be a blessing to activate someone else. So that is how the domino effect of the blessing is supposed to work. Not everybody has that information to be able to know that here's what. I am a blessing, and thereby I actually have to be a blessing to someone else for them to now become a blessing altogether, right? So that is fruits. If you dream international fruits, right? So we're moving on now to vegetable. I'm going to only deal with one vegetable because vegetable is kind of a touchy subject. If it is that, what I will say is, in dealing with, I will go back to the three of them afterwards. Vegetable. If you dream yourself cutting up cabbage, seeing a cabbage field, if you see yourself eating cabbage, you're cooking cabbage, cabbage on the whole, in the realm of the spirit, it represents wealth. So if you dream coleslaw, cabbage and coleslaw, cabbage actually represents wealth. It represents wealth that is laid in store for you, but there is actually things that you have to do, things that you have to put in place in order for that wealth to be birthed from the mother realm into the physical realm. So if you have dreamt cabbage before, or you may dream cabbage in the future, there is wealth that is laid up in store for you. And more than likely, somebody who dreamed cabbage is somebody that the enemy will fight dread. Why? Because the mere fact that they dream cabbage, they would also be a distributor of the blessing. They will be someone that is not cheap. Also, if you dream yourself in a certain color as well, that also signifies, but not much persons get that color because the kind of wealth that comes with that color is so crazy that if it's not somebody that is not selfish, it could end up being a prideful thing. And that is the wine color, the kind of wine red. But cabbage, if you dream cabbage, the vegetable cabbage, cabbage signifies that there is wealth that is actually in store for you in the realm of the spirit. It is now asking and seeking God's face in order to have it come into this realm. Because sure, I'm certain if you know it has wealth in store for you in the realm of the spirit, you want it, eh? I know I want mine. I know for nobody else, and me, I will take every necessary step in order to make sure it births from the mother realm into the physical. If you dream cabbage, hush your mouth. Unless it be, it is the person was there sharing in the blessing with you, hush your mouth. Because it will be even more hindrances that you're able to put in your way, make your job harder unnecessarily, right? So cabbage is the vegetable. If you dream cabbage, you are actually seen as somebody who is wealthy in the realm of the spirit, even though you might be going through some measure of hardship or something harsh in the physical realm, right? So in dealing with that, we deal with the clothes. If your clothes is dirty, you have on the color, but it's dirty, it torn, it raggedy, it ain't looking too hot up, it ain't too talawa. Yes, it's a blessing, but it's a blessing that has been tarnished. If you see the fruit, and the fruit is probably starting to rot, means that you were supposed to attain to this blessing already, and you have missed something along the lines. But the positive to that is, not in the physical, but in the realm of the spirit, you are able to reverse things. Time, because God is the author of time, you are able to consult He who is the author of time to reverse that which you lost. So we're learning that tonight. So even if you didn't see it before, You can put it into play now that if you see rotten fruits, go back to God. He's the author of time and he's able to reverse it and bring it back afresh so that you can have a second chance at it. If you see the clothes dirty, pray about it. Ask God for it to be made well, to be made clean. And the fruit, the same thing with the cabbage. If you see it starting to rot, pray that prayer of reversal. Right? Any questions so far? No questions so far? All right. So we're going on. We deal with the blessing. Now we're going on to that dirty spirit. Mr. Delay. Mr. Delay. I should even take that respect of your name. Delay. Right? Well, the thing about delay is, delay prolonged too long will eventually be denial. Right? So we're going to deal with delay now. How to tell if you have had a dream that signifies that you are someone that is delayed in certain things in life. This could be any area of life. Job-wise, wealth-wise, marriage, anything of that nature. Right? So if you had a dream, or if you are someone and you constantly dream yourself in the house that you grew up in, you constantly see yourself in the house that is grandma's house, or that's the house that your mother used to carry you by when she going out, but it's a house from your childhood. Once you dream in your childhood place, or your high school, or your primary school, or your preschool, places that you went to that was years ago. Once you are having these dreams, immediately outright that is telling you part of your life is in delay. It could be delay for where you're supposed to be at financially. It could be you're supposed to already have different properties, but you have not yet grab a hold of these things. It could be delay in many different areas of life. It could even be delay in marriage. But the delay in marriage, you would see something that signifies marriage that comes into your dream as well. So if you see yourself in your old house, the house that you grew up in, that is God actually trying to communicate with you that you are years of your life has passed, and there are things that you were supposed to accomplish already that you did not accomplish. Right? But as I said, God is the author of time and he's able to give back unto you time. Once you are able to catch it in the moment that you're able to become aware. Awareness it's all about awareness, you know. It is all about awareness. Once you become aware that there is a problem, that is where you start dealing with delay. Because a lot of people live life in delay and end up going back to the grave, never fully accomplishing what they're supposed to accomplish. And a lot of persons as well, when we speak on delay, if it is delay in marriage, more than likely, your blessing is supposed to come within the marriage, and that is why you're being fought by the spirit of delay. Because your blessing is in the marriage. So it could be that one. It could be delay of other things that you're supposed to accomplish by now. And it could have people in your life that is causing this delay. It could have circumstances that you are actually in that is causing this delay, or it could be a mindset that needs to change in order for the spirit of delay to leave. Because what comes with delay is also procrastination. What comes with delay is procrastination. Procrastination is, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next week. No, if you don't do it now, a lot of the blessing that you're supposed to have when you're supposed to do it will pass you, because there is a window. As I said in a couple of days ago, we had morning devotion, and I always say, in the spirit, there is always a window by which there is a particular time in which something is supposed to happen for you. So if the window begins here, God will give you the dream here even before the time. You will get the dream before the time actually comes when this thing is supposed to happen, right? And remember, we did the calculation of time in one of the sessions that we did previously. So the session we did previously, once you get the dream before, and God gives you the time frame in the dream, and you now get up and you have the information of how to calculate the time, because more than likely, God, being God, may not give you it outright. He may not give you it straightforward, because when he gives you the dream as well, he's also hiding it from the enemy. He's also hiding the blessing that is coming into play. But how the enemy could tell is coming your way, the angelic presence around you becomes more. In the realm of the spirit, you may not be able to see it, but what happens is that you tend to feel a presence more around you. It's because your angelic presence have topped up, because something great is coming your way. But as I said last week, there are no secrets in the realm of the spirit. So because there are no secrets, and they are actually seeing these angels around you, hell will be notified. Oops, you see that one? Something brewing, something is coming. The angelic presence has become more over her life, or the angelic presence has become more over his life. So once the angelic presence becomes more, it's because this window that I'm speaking of is nearby, right? So once you enter now into that window, if your spirit is not able to become aware that you are actually in that moment, in that time, that window, if your spirit is not aware and you are not paying attention to your dreams, you can unfortunately miss it. You can miss it. And there are actually agents, there are people that can actually be set up by the spirit of delay to cause you to miss it. This is why when you know something is coming, or you know that some blessing is coming good your way, it is very good to pay attention to your environment, your atmosphere, who around you, who you entertain. Because there are actually some people that are there to waste your time. And in wasting your time is to actually ensure that the blessing miss you. And it could be one of the things that could very well change your life. Hear me good tonight. This is if you didn't know before, it's an eye opener to pay close attention to your life, because it's a serious thing. It is a serious thing. So if you know that you have been made aware that that window has been activated, right? So this is the window that you are working with. It now means that in here is where you get very prayerful. Very prayerful. And in the mode of prayerful, if you can throw in a fast or two, a 1 day fast, a 2 day fast, to actually settle your mind, settle your spirit, because you can feel something is coming. Don't be easily distracted in that moment, because that is what delay comes out to do. And I'm saying this, and I'm even ministering to myself by saying this, because one of the things that we really have to look for is where procrastination could waste your time, thereby the blessing missing you. Right? So, spiritual delay. If you dream yourself in your old house, you see yourself in your high school, and right through, what happens is the spirit of these territories would not want you to receive that blessing, because it could mean that your family that they hold on to for so many years could now be delivered if you get this blessing. So if it is that the spirit, what I want you all to think of, where you grow up, there is a spiritual roll call that takes place for every person that is birthed in that jurisdiction. Whether you're born Lavantil, whether you're born Diego Martin, you're in Tobago, every jurisdiction, there is a territorial demonic force that actually has your name on roll call. And if when they call roll, you move out of the area, don't think for 1 minute they still don't have you on the roll call. Don't think for 1 minute that because you leave Lavantil that your name not still spiritually up Lavantil. So this is why cultures, spiritual cultures and patterns is important to pay attention to. It's important to pay attention to, because what happens is, because it is a pattern that the family has gone into for so many years, and you know you're born into and you grow up in that pattern and you continue along in it, guess what? Those territorial spirits still have a hold of you as well. So it is it's something to pay attention to, because a lot of the things that you would want to accomplish in life, because you are still in the pattern of where you come from, you realize that you're not able to propel forward. Because think of a dog on a leash. A dog on a leash would only be able to go so far. But when he reached the end of that leash, he immediately is drawn back to where he comes from. And that is what these territorial spirits do. They allow you to go so far thinking that you are getting somewhere, when really and truly you pull right back to where you start all over again. This is why sometimes you would end up seeing dreams about only seeing yourself in the old house, seeing yourself in your high school or your preschool. This is because those spirits, those territorial demonic forces still have your name on roll call. It actually takes the blessing of God to actually break and lose those things. It takes a vigorous, it takes a determined mind to be loose from the spirits of where you grew up and where you're born. It takes a determined mind, because you would want to know, I'm certain that people would have heard when you hear when someone dies in a foreign land and they don't belong there, they bring them back home. Guess why? The spirits have already gained claim of them. So that is why it is a should I say a very thin line to look at when coming to where you come from, the lineage you come from, because all of these things could actually have the spirit of delay intertwined into it, I don't know. But because it is actually the only pattern that you know no other way, is only the Lord Jesus Christ will be able to help you to come from such a place. To come from such a place. So think about it. If you have seen such a dream, go to God about it. Ask God to break you loose from those spirits, those forces, those that hold you from your past, from where you come from, so that you can come break forth and go forward into where God wants you to accomplish in life. Because let me tell you something. If it is that the spirits of your ancestors or the spirits of the territorial spirits are holding you, if your destiny is in another country, you think they're allowing you to go?
No.
Oh. Tooth and nail you will fight. But that destiny which is supposed to accomplish, you will go around in circles. Unless it be that you take time out to break ties. When God wanted to bless Abraham, what God told Abraham? Come out from amongst your family and amongst your kindred, and I will take you to a land that I will show you. It means that where Abraham was, the blessing of God would not have been able to stay with him there, nor flourish with him in that place. As a matter of fact, they weren't Christians, they weren't believers. It's idols they used to worship, right? So God couldn't have put his blessing amongst that contamination, but he had a plan for Abraham. So what if God has a plan for you and you're still being held by the territorial spirits of your yesteryear? It's an eye-opener tonight. It is truly an eye-opener, to really think of, if it is, I have patterns of my mother, patterns of my father, and are you just like your mother? You're just like your father. Eh? People just think that they're just using that word with their voice. They are actually prophesying that, and also giving way to the spirits of where you all grow from to still gain a hold over you if you are not able to rebut or combat when they come to you and tell you that. You look like your mother, eh? You look like your father, eh? No problem, but I'm not accepting that, because at the end of the day, they live their life, they have their own stuff going on, but you now desire a new beginning for you. And a new beginning could start at any place in life. Guess when a new beginning starts? When you become aware. So if you weren't aware before, and it took you years to become aware, once you become aware today, now, in this moment, once you are aware now, you start breaking, loosing, tearing down, mashing down that thing until you no longer get not just the dreams about it, but you now give room for the blessing of God to be able to come into your life. So now some of us could really think, no wonder this situation is taking so long to happen. No wonder why this ain't happened yet. It's because the territorial spirits still have your name on roll call. Pray, let God know, send his angel to scratch your name off their roll call. Take your name off of their roll call. Wheresoever your name is on a roll call that is not supposed to be on, that your name come off, that you're able to move forward. Right? So that is that. Delay, old house, high school, preschool. If you dream yourself missing some kind of transportation, you miss a flight in your dream, you miss a boat, somebody come with you with a car and they drive off and they leave you. Well, that could mean that somebody in a relationship with that they actually plan on leaving you, but that's another topic. Right? But if you actually dream that you miss a flight, or you're late for a flight, or you pack up a car when you come back, the car not there, that in itself, that separately is not per se delay, but more stagnancy. The one where you're driving a car, you come out the car, you went somewhere, you come back, the car gone. Stagnancy means that everything in life is at that one level and not moving. But the reason we are doing this is to open it so that we can actually start putting measures in place, using your voice to activate for things to start moving, shifting, and tearing down. But let me tell you something. The thing about stagnancy is it not only is activated by your past or where you grew up. Stagnancy could actually be with things that has been sent into your life or patterns that you have developed. Bad patterns, bad habits could cause you to be stagnant. For example, if you're somebody that you want to learn to get up early, but every day you're sleeping late, the habit of sleeping in late is totally opposite to what you want to do, which is get up early. Nobody can say that you wouldn't have the time that you're tired genuinely and you're knocked out. But if this is something that you want to start doing so that you become more productive, it actually shows where your habit goes against what you want to accomplish, thereby now putting in place stagnancy. So if you actually see a car, you are driving a car, you park it up, you come back, it's not there, stagnancy. But if you miss a flight, you miss boat, you miss some means of transportation, a train, if you miss a train, all these signify delay, because what will now have to happen, you will have to find other means by which what you were supposed to accomplish, you would have to find other means in order to accomplish the very task that could have been accomplished in a shorter space of time, in that very window, right? So this window is the window of where the blessing is supposed to come and the opportunities for the blessing. Anything outside of that is delay and stagnancy, whereby you now have to find alternative means, not to get back in the window, you know, but to accomplish what you were supposed to accomplish in this window. Because if you were to wait for this window to come back wrong, it's an entire cycle again that you would have to wait for in order to be able to come back to that place, right? So that is missing a flight, missing train, missing any means of transportation. Anybody ever dream themselves they're running and like they ain't going nowhere? I'm certain nobody never dream themselves you're running. You feel like you're running, but you're running and like something holding your back, like some force, some breeze. Well, if you never get it, that in itself as well as the force of delay that is holding you. Where you dream you're running, you want to run fast, but like your car run fast for nothing. In your mind, you're like, something wrong. No, well, if somebody chasing you, that's something kind of different. But if you're actually running to go to somewhere, and you feel like you want to run fast, but your feet ain't getting the message, that also signifies delay. All right? So, we're going to stop there for now. We're going to stop there for tonight. I don't want the power system to overload. And we have other agendas to cover, right? So we did that tonight. So tell me if we good. Are there any questions? Anything to ask? Anybody had a burning question or some dream that they had?
How is it when you have about 3 or 4 colors?
You had what?
How is it the 3 colors they mentioned?
Oh no, if we were to get in, we would be here all night, sir. Okay. We will be here all night. Oh, you had a particular color that you dreamt already?
No, I can't remember anything in terms of why does dream of, but I just thought you were about all the colors.
Oh, all?
I thought so.
Now, if we were to even deal with all colors tonight, you know, but I can't even tell how much colors in this world.
Constantly flying.
Hey, sir. Someone asked if you dream yourself flying constantly. That is actually a ministerial calling that is over your life. Jesus. That is actually God has placed ministry inside of you that has to be birthed to come out.
Amen.
So there is a work that if it is that you have dreamt yourself flying, there is actually a call of God of some commission that has been placed on your life that you know, being that you didn't know before and you gain the information tonight. You now have to take this humbly before God and ask God now to reveal to you what is the commission, what is the call in which you now have to accomplish for him before you leave this life.
Amen.
Right? Because once anybody that dreams this, that you dream yourself flying, that you can actually, in the dream, you come from walking and you end up into flight, immediately it shows the activation of the supernatural. So because flying, if you think of in the physical realm, only thing we know flying here is witches, wizards, and anything that is not right? But or anything spiritual of a supernatural nature, right? And anything that flies is because they're actually tapping into the spirit. But once you are flying, there is a commission that is over your life that you have to seek the face of God to find out what it is you have to do. Because when this type of calling is over your life, more than likely, what you have to do for God is something that you will get opposition from. Somebody or something will oppose to what you have to do. So it's a momentum where you have to not just build your mind to do what God called you to do, but also be prepared for the opposition that will come with what you have to get done. It's a serious thing. And I'm sure that many people probably would have dreamt themselves flying and they don't know that that is what it means. It actually means that there is a heavy call of God on your life. Right? Any other questions?
I want to know about the color green.
About?
Green.
Green?
Like green mango.
Green? But tell me, did you dream the green on a handbag, on a cloth, on a dress? Okay. It is actually the color that is connected to blessings and the multiplication, the fruitfulness. The green signifies that, and based on how if it's garments that you saw yourself in, it is actually you will be the inhabitor of that blessing. But as I said, with everything, no, it's not just the covering, but it's not asking God for the Holy Spirit to be able to guide you along in prayer efficiently for that ushering to take place. For it to actually, that which you see in the spirit realm, to be birthed into the physical in full, that the blessing will come and meet you here. That green. But green is good. Green is very, very, very good. Right? In the back.
Yes. You know, I most of the time God is minister to me by that showing. So I want to know.
You hit a nerve there. You hit a nerve there. Right? Now what that nerve you hit is a deep, deep spiritual nerve now. And it's some place that I wasn't really looking to go tonight. But since we're there, let's go. So, Jesus, should I share this word? Okay. There are elements by which you are able to use it in prayer. One, I've never even shared this deep on the live, to be honest. I don't think I've ever gone this deep on the live with what I'm about to share too as well. There are elements of the spirit in which we are able to utilize in prayer, and also what they can use against you, right? But as with everything that is good, there's also evil. There's also wicked, right? Fire being one, water being one, wind being one. Wind, right? I'll only stick with those three for tonight. I wouldn't go further. Those three elements, right, of the spirit that is able to also be activated is also elements that individuals, if they are not able to identify, as I say, they may not be able to identify what element they belong to, right? Elijah was a prophet of fire. Moses was a prophet of water. So you understand where I'm going with this, right? That's just an example. So Elijah, when he is in his element, he could call fire. That's his element. That's where him and God have their connection. Moses, because of what he was called to do. I'm not sure if I gave the question. Someone said that they normally get revelations when they are in the shower, when they are taking a bath, right? So that is why I'm explaining this. So Moses' communication with God is via means of water, because if you look at his life actually began with craziness that took place via means of water. When they wanted to kill all the male under a certain age, and his mother put him in the river, and he went down the stream, right? And he was taken in by Pharaoh's daughter. So the very enemy house, the very enemy is the very one that they take up the Hebrew child, and they know, right? Moses, his commission was with water. So the communication that was had with him and God was with respect to water, you can say, per se, right? That was his place of respect, right? Why you have those revelations in the shower, in the water, is because your element is water. You understand? Yeah. So it puts you where sometimes for you, being by water might be a place of solace or peace for you, and you probably have not recognized that is what brings you solace or what brings you peace. It is because that is the element by which is communicative via the means of the Spirit, and how God is able to bring the element of communication through you, right? Because I wouldn't go that part again, because the word of God speaks about God's chambers being in water, right? The consultation of God being in water. So he who is God, who refers to himself as living water, and every time you are connected with a significance, remember, one of the things I mentioned as well in one of the previous sessions is that everything has a spirit. Everything has a spirit that can be activated behind it. Water has a spirit as well that can be activated behind it. Hence the reason I could hold this water, bless this water. I'm sure you all heard of blessed water already. Yeah. It is not necessarily the material water, but the water becomes immaterial. So it now moves from physical into spiritual, whereby it can now be prayed and activated as a conduit of healing. So that person who drinks that water, it's now not just water they're drinking, but they're actually drinking healing. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so I have all that attention now. Right? So your element. So for everyone else who, being that he asked the question and he opened that, you can now really start becoming more aware of your spirit to recognize what is my element, what is the element that I flow more with. If I am a water communication element, or if fire is my thing, because there are actually people who connect with fire as well. If it is that it's somebody that they are in a situation where they feel heat. They feel heat when they end up in prayer, or they feel a certain presence that could be that they are fire element, right? So it is something that you could go to God and ask God, Father, what is my element of communication? So this is separate from dream, actually. No, in the physical, it teaches you what is your element of communication, right? Anything else? Anybody else? Nothing else? Nobody else? Well, all right then. So we have our giveaway for tonight. Don't play all the laughing, you know. All you know, inside joke. Inside joke.
Our giveaway.
Our giveaway. Hey! Huh? Yeah, you can record it. Our giveaway. Yay! Right? So, I wouldn't do, maybe another week we will do a game or we will do a trivia. But what we will do, based on jogging your memory, just like we did last week, because these are things that I want us to remember. Who can tell me? And this, right, you all may be seeing the envelope, right? Let me tell you all what the envelope is, right? The envelope is actually a giveaway of a pizza. It's not money, right? So don't feel it will be right, they wouldn't accuse us in here. It is not money, it is actually a pizza in an envelope, right? But they would actually be winning a pizza. So who can tell me, based on what we do tonight, the elements that we discussed for the blessings and the colors and the items that we did for the blessing, what? And how your eye get bright? So you hear prize, right? You hear prize. Yes, you in front there. You who win the last prize. So who can tell me all that we discussed for the blessing and all that we discussed for the delay? Or who can get the most? Yes.
So we talked about rotten fruits and tattered clothes.
Right.
And it's a sign that your blessing is delayed or it has been tarnished.
Right.
We spoke about the color brown being that your blessing is coming, but it comes with trials.
Hey, go ahead.
We spoke about gray,
Uh-huh.
it shows that you have that leadership quality.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, she was recorded.
We spoke that fuchsia pink is the highest color in the spiritual realm.
Hey, go ahead.
We said that crimson is a word used to show where you are sharing wisdom unto others.
Charisma.
Charisma.
Right, go ahead.
So it's showing where you have that wisdom, you're sharing it unto us, and we have to see ourselves as blessings as well, being ready to share that same wisdom unto others.
Papa, go ahead. Yeah, get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, international fruit. If you dream about international fruit, then it means that part of your destiny might be out of your motherland.
Hey,
somewhere else.
go ahead, sister.
Cabbage. We talked about
Hey, go ahead, sister. Or then she coming for it tonight.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Don't let her take your blessing. You go ahead.
We're speaking of wealth. You have a tons of amount of us awaiting you, and we spoke about that wine red color.
Hey, go ahead.
That is like you're really humble, you're going to really be blessed, but you're going to be a selfless giver.
Hey, go ahead. All right, so delay.
Oh, and delay in the mode of transport.
Uh-huh.
So if you miss transportation and that kind of thing, it shows a form of delay. If you have transportation, you end up at a place, but your transportation is not fair, that shows a form of stagnancy.
Yeah.
Well, because we saw planes, trains, buses, all these are modes of transportation. If you miss these, then we know it's a form of delay. We also spoke about when you dream of your childhood or anything in your past. It shows that you're still attached to that place, and it is a form of delay where you have to pray and ask God to actually free you or break that chain, where you could now be a generation start. Because if so,
Actually, she does be online. She started online first. She started online, I must say, right? So she started online first. So she really was in the nick of things, right? But the thing is, you all can't. Everything that we spoke of is what we did tonight. Right? So who could tap her? Let me hear. Who tap her? She got watch now. If anybody did top that tonight, no, it's not 1 and 2 that somebody could have top her with still, right? But if anybody did top that tonight here, right? All I get more than a pizza. All I get, my dear, come and receive your gift. Come on camera. This one had to come on camera tonight. Come. You have to come on camera. Come and receive your blessing. Hey! Congratulations, my dear. Watch now. Watch now. My girl, take it, yes? Right? Let me everything. She take it. Eh? Clean. Watch now. Clean, sweep, you know.
And she am one.
She probably am more sit down there, yes? Right? So that will be where we would end off tonight for Eat and Teach. Although we teach first and then we go in and eat. I hope you all had a wonderful time with us tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for coming in. You know, so one thing we always say with Single and Cultivated, our anniversary just passed on the 9th of September. SACAM turns 1 anniversary. It was on the 9th of September. So we are officially 1 year in activation. So we will be celebrating Single and Cultivated and Married turns 1. We're going to be celebrating. Call us, message me, get your name on the guest list. The 29th of September, we will be celebrating SACAM turns 1. Right? The venue, we will not be giving out the venue online. We will only be giving the venue to those that are part of the guest list. So that so once you want to be a part of it, get in contact with me, Facebook, YouTube, message, call me, you know, and we will get that in place. So be fruitful, for if you are fruitful, you are the gift. So we say at Single and Cultivated, our theme is be fruitful, for if you are fruitful, you are the gift. So that is all for tonight. Thank you all for coming in.